What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, One Physical Therapist Assistant, back again with another one, with an interesting topic. Hey, I'm gonna get right into the topic, but I just gotta give my coworker a shout out, man. She dropped the jewel on me today. Shout out to my coworker. She's a little older than me, maybe in her mid-50s. She dropped a spectacular jewel. Been in the game for years, and I agree with her on this sentiment. We talking about technology, right? Technology. I like technology. Do you like technology? I like the way it proliferates. What I mean by that is I like the way it comes. And then we just take it for granted. Like this camera I'm talking to, like the supercomputer you have that you're watching this on right now. The supercomputer you probably call it a phone. It's not a phone. It's not a smartphone. You have a literal supercomputer in your pocket that just so happens to make phone calls. But the way that it proliferates, the way that kind of stuff becomes normal to us, it's amazing. It's amazing to see. And we were talking about how they're talking about robots, and robots and artificial intelligence and giving us robots to help us complete daily tasks, and how I look forward to the healthcare industry getting some robots, because I believe we are. I hope I'm still doing this so I can experience it. But me and her were talking about the fact that we look forward to a time where we don't have to lift up a 400-pound person anymore, where we can just ask a robot to do it or program a robot to do it. And we was talking about how, a lot of studies show that healthcare workers are retiring early, going on disability early, and a lot of them go through it because of back problems and back pains and injuries on the job, shoulders, what have you. I just met like a little young 20-year-old who had to stop being a CNA because she hurt her back, and now she works in the office. I'm glad that she was able to find, a different job to do within the same facility, but that's not the case for everybody. But anyway, my coworker, man, the bar she dropped, she was like, just think about it, Ivan. She was like, sometimes they be asking us to lift 400-pound people. I said, you're right. She said, now just think about that. She said, what if I was at my house and you was at my house right now, and I told you, I said, Ivan, I need you to lift that 400-pound rock sitting right there on the ground and move it over there. She said, now would you do it? Would you say, sure, let me get that for you? She said, would you do it? I said, well, you know what? I actually will probably ask you, is you crazy? She said, that's right. That's what I'm talking about. But she said they expect us to lift people who literally weigh upwards of 400, sometimes 500 pounds. They expect us to get those people up and get them walking again, get them stronger again. And sometimes it don't make sense, and we need some help. Sometimes it takes like two of us, sometimes it takes a mechanical lift. But it would be nice if there was a time coming that one day I can be like, hey, yo, whatever your name is, let's call him Prime. I think they're gonna call the robots Prime. Hey, yo, Prime, I need you to come in this room with me because I need to get this lady out of bed and she can't stand up. I need you to lift her up. I want to get her walking. I need you to get her up, hold her up so she can try to take a few steps. I look forward to that time. But my coworker, the way she put that, I was like, dang, you know what? She was like, would you go over and lift a 400-pound rock? I was like, no, I wouldn't. When you put it like that, I actually wouldn't. But dang, if I haven't tried to lift 400-pound human beings, the heck was I thinking? She was like, that's right, and I ain't doing it either. She was like, but they expect us to lift 400-pound people. I was like, you know what? I told her, I said, you just dropped the gem on me. I said, I'm going to remember that. That was a good one, man. The way she put it, I'm like, dang, that makes sense. But anyway, today, I want to talk about perspective, okay? Perspective. On the tail end of my last video, I talked about the debacle going on in our country. There's always a debacle, okay? There's always a debacle. However, one thing I learned from my patients, from the older adults, from the legends of America, from the Hall of Famers of America, y'all know I call them that. Why do I call them that? Because they had the opportunity to grow and live and flourish and age in the better times of the country. That's why I call them the legends and the Hall of Famers, if you were ever wondering that. You study the history, you'll see. But there's always a debacle. And when you have a debacle, there comes issues. Things come along with a debacle, okay? Markets get spooked. People panic. People get frustrated. People get stressed. You know, there was a few, I remember, 2008, when that debacle happened, man, there were people committing suicide, like a lot. I don't know if you've ever heard about that, but you go check the history, man, because of the debacle. But I want to give you a different perspective. Now, right now, if you follow the news, you might see all over the news feed, stock market crash and tariff fallout and inflation and everything's going to be bad. And okay, that's everywhere. That's a granted, that's a given. However, what you don't get is the perspective from the nursing homes. That's what I'm going to give you today. I'm going to give you the perspective from the nursing homes. How is the fallout? How is the crash? How are the tariffs? How are they hitting the nursing homes? What do the nursing home people have to say about these issues? You know what they got to say about it? Not a daggone thing. They ain't got a daggone thing to say about it because they could care less. The majority of them don't even know what's going on. But it affects them. You feel me? Hear what I'm saying to you? It affects them. It affects their pensions that they're living off of. It affects their Social Security payments, their money, their annuities, their stocks, all of that stuff. It affects all of that, but they could care less. They got other things to worry about. Did you hear what I just said? I just made a casual observation today, or I made a lot of observations, but I was just paying attention to issues that were on the minds of my patients today as I was working with them, as I was going from room to room, as I was chilling with them in the gym. I was just making casual observations of what's on their minds right now. Are they worried about about the thing that everybody's worried about? Are they? No, they're not. One patient I went to, she was worried about the pain in her legs. She was worried about her neuropathy. So you know what I did? I got to do a little bit of movement, a little bit of exercise, and then I rubbed some BioFreeze on her legs, and she felt better. She appreciated that BioFreeze, but her legs have been bothering her all night from what she says. That was her main concern. And she said she had some company coming over later on. So she was looking forward to her family coming to see her. Pain in her legs and family coming to visit her. Okay? Stay with me. I had another patient, had a cool guy. Oh man, nice guy. You know what? I found him. I was looking for him. Couldn't find him in his room. Couldn't find him in bingo. Couldn't find him in the activities room. Couldn't find him in the I was hunting the place for this man because he was on my schedule for therapy. Couldn't find him. I found one of his aides and I asked him where he was at. She was like, oh, he down there by the door. So it's these doors that peek out into, I think, part of the parking lot. And then there's some wooded area, some trees and some grass on the side of the building. And one of his things he likes to do is, since he doesn't get out much, he's wheelchair bound, he likes to go sit by the door and just look out into nature. Did you hear me? He just likes to look out into nature, just look out into the trees. So I pulled up on him, and I didn't want to take him away from what he was doing, even though I had to do therapy with him. So you know what we did? We did therapy right there at the door. We do that a lot. We'll catch them in the hallways. They don't want to go to the gym. A lot of people don't like to go to the gym. We'll catch them in their rooms. It's not preferable, but sometimes you can't force somebody to go somewhere they don't want to go. So I stood right there with my man and we did some exercises. We worked on getting up out of the chair. We worked on his balance. We did a lot sitting right there by the door, watching nature. I even asked him, I said, you ever seen the animals out there? He was like, oh yeah, I see a few squirrels. I asked him if he ever seen any deer out there. He said, yeah. I don't know. He said he saw some deer out there. It looked like an area that deer could be running around. And I actually took a picture of it. I'm gonna show you right here. This is the door that we chilled at for about 20 to 30 minutes. We were chilling, did a little exercise, and we were just enjoying nature. We were just enjoying nature. It was calm, it was peaceful, it wasn't too crowded, it wasn't too loud. You know, it was just me and him down there, and everybody else was in activities. And we were just having a little good conversation while he was doing some exercises. My man didn't have a care. Do you see where I'm going with this video? I hope you see where I'm going at. Okay, let's go to another person, another patient. Had a nice little lady. It's a lady that I remember from way back in the day at another facility. Sometimes I'll see the same person in different facilities. I had her at another facility, and she was doing good. She was doing good. She's, you know, declined a little bit, but they still got her on therapy. So I went in her room. Now, mind you, she does not have a window bed, meaning her neighbor has the window bed, right? And she has the bed closest to the door. It's a two bed room. She has the bed closest to the door, so she doesn't get to look out the window very much. Feel me? So I told her we got to go to therapy for a little bit. So she was okay to go to the gym. She wanted to get out of her room. So I wheeled her down to the gym in a wheelchair, and we get to the gym, and I set her up. We do a couple sit to stands, getting up out of the chair, stretching her legs. She need a little help. We doing a little exercise. I get her to do a few things with her legs, marching in place, you know, just to loosen the joints up. But I sit her back down in the chair, and I get her to take a little break. And when I sit her down in the chair, she can now see the window to the gym. Remember, she's not close to the window in her room, but she can see the window to the gym. And she asked me, she said, hey, can you push me up a little closer to the window? I said, sure. I imagine she wanted to look out, because this window to the gym peeks out into the courtyard, okay? So I push her up a little bit closer, and she kind of just stared in the gaze, just a little gaze. She was looking out into the courtyard. There's a few trees out there, a few plants, some nice plants, and I took a picture of it. So I'm gonna show you a picture of the window she was looking out. And she was just mesmerized by nature, again, like the gentleman, right? And she saw this bird, and this bird started flying back and forth to the tree, and there's a bird feeder right there. Oh, pause, time out, TV time out. Another thing for you people ready to start a nursing home, I swear, y'all know I'll be getting on y'all. Y'all better have good food, you better have good coffee. I hope one of y'all taking notes. I hope somebody out there with a notepad like, gotta have good food, boom, boom, gotta have good coffee. One PTA says so when I open up my nursing home. One more thing I'm gonna tell you need, one more thing. These people like to stare out into nature, okay? When they stare out into nature, they like to see nature. Meaning, they like to see the animals, the squirrels, the birds, bird feeders, people. As you can see in this picture, there's a bird feeder. But what you may not see, or what you probably can tell, it isn't any bird seed in there. A lot of times these nursing homes be having bird feeders, a credit to them, but be a little bit lacking on filling it up with bird seed. Cause and effect of having a bird feeder. When you put bird seed in it, the birds are gonna come eat it. So you have to replenish it. These nursing homes don't be replenishing the bird seed and the bird feeders. Okay? So that should be somebody's routine job. That should be, I don't know who should have that responsibility, but somebody needs it. So at your nursing home, when you open it, replenish bird feeders with bird seed. Okay? Put that in your list. All right, back to the story. So we sitting there, and there's a bird that flies, doesn't fly to the bird feeder because there ain't no bird seed in it, but it flies to the bush, all right? And it then flies away from the bush. And her eyes, my patient's eyes, just locks on the bird, right? She locks on the bird, and she is like mesmerized. She's like, oh, there's a bird. He came up to the bush. I was like, oh, I missed it. I wasn't looking at the time, but I just sat there, and I stared with her out into nature. Okay? And then the bird came back. Pretty bird. I don't remember what kind of bird it was, but it was a pretty little bird. And we just sat there for a good 10 minutes just watching this bird go back and forth. We're doing a little exercise, but we just watching this bird. It'll fly up to the bush and then fly away. Fly up to the bush and then fly away. And I'm talking to her. I said, "You like birds, huh?" She's like, "Oh yeah, I love watching them." I said, "Why don't you name the same bird keep coming back?" I said, "Why don't you name that bird?" She said, "Well, you know what? I think I will." You know what she named the bird? The bird that kept flying back and forth from the bush away. It kept flying to the bush and then out of the window picture and back to the bush. You know what she named the bird? She named the bird Bush. She said, "I'm gonna name him Bush." I said, "Ma'am, that is a perfect name for that bird." Me and her just sat there chilling, just watching nature. I hope y'all see what I'm trying to get at with this video. Yes, it's craziness going on. Yes, there's the debacle going on. But you got a whole segment of the population could absolutely care less. Now, should they care? That's neither here nor there. What I'm trying to tell you is this perspective of not letting stuff like that get to them is probably the attitude you want to try. I know you can't, especially if you're nearing retirement, especially if you like to invest, especially if you watch the markets and all of that. I know you can't completely. However, if you could just take a moment, breathe, relax, maybe enjoy nature, focus on the more important things in life, the more important things, like your health. I'm painting pictures of some patients who dealing with health issues and more worried about their health. I had another patient whose main focus today was getting out of bed and standing up. I helped her do that, and she was very happy. Could care less about somebody's tariff. Could care less about high inflation and the fallout, But these things affect them. Like I said, they do affect them. But if you could just try to focus on something else, I think you'll be better suited. Just look at it from a different perspective. That's what helps me. I know that these people, are in a nursing home. They don't have many cares or wants. And this video is another lesson in simplifying your life. Now, let me turn it on the head a little bit. One of the things that these people don't have to worry about anymore is a lot of consumerism. They ain't buying much of nothing anymore. They are worried about their health. They are worried about, nutrition. They are worried about getting strong. They worry about simple things, nature, being able to look out and enjoy the birds, activities. Yes, they're in a nursing home. That might not be the ideal place, but the life of consumerism, that's gone. And I keep telling y'all, if you keep living, you'll get to that point too. So, what if, during this whole debacle, you could be focused on a simple life? Will you still be affected? Yes, you will. However, not as hard as if you're out there over consuming, because this is what a big part of this is. This country we live in, we are a over consuming population. We are a consumerism driven population. It's been in place since World War II. This is what another thing I learned from them. Remember when we won the war? Yay, yay, America. After that, let's just buy everything. Houses, cars, debt. Let's just do it up. We've been on that high, on that kick ever since that, and we have not come down off of it. So, if you're still over consuming and if you're drowning in debt, of course you should worry a little bit. But if you can focus on a little bit simpler life, you might not have as many worries or cares like my patients. That's what I learned from them today. Just watching that perspective of not caring. And some of them do follow this stuff. Some of them, they watch the CNNs and the NBC or whatever, all of the networks and all of that. They watch some of this stuff, but do they worry and care about it? No, absolutely not. They got more important things to worry about. I had a patient just wanted to focus on walking today. I had a patient who just wanted to focus on the Orioles game. He's really mad that the Orioles are losing, the Baltimore Orioles. We back to our losing ways. He's mad about that. That was his main focus today. That's all he wanted to talk about was the Orioles. They don't care about this latest debacle. And remember what I told you, there's always going to be a debacle. Always going to be a debacle. But anyway, I just wanted y'all to give y'all some different perspectives. Everybody's worried about this thing, you know. Maybe it's time to look at it from the perspective of an elderly person. Look at it from their perspective and focus on what's more important in life. What's more important to you? You know, get out and enjoy some nature. That's what I'm gonna do. I think when I go home today, I just got a new lens for my camera. You know what I'm gonna do? That's right. In this video, I'm gonna make this video, hold me to it. I'm gonna go home, grab my new lens, not my new camera, very, very old camera. Camera is about 6 years old, but I do have a new little cheap lens I bought. Very cheap lens, okay? You know, that's my hobby, photography. And I'm gonna get out, maybe I'll just go out in my backyard and just take some pictures and enjoy some nature. Maybe see if I can see some birds like my lady. She has inspired me to go just enjoy nature. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I want y'all to do something like that, man. Just enjoy some nature. Take a deep breath. Breathe. Breathe. You're all right. But I just wanted to let y'all know a different perspective on the whole debacle, man. The people in nursing homes could care less about some tariffs, even though it affects them. All right? So, as always, y'all, it's your boy, one physical therapist assistant. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Hope y'all doing okay. I hope everybody's all right. You know, if you want to know what me personally, what I'm doing, I'm looking for opportunities. There's always opportunities. People always think, look, this is the funny part. When people look back and think about the quote unquote crashes that have happened, people always wish in hindsight, man, I should have did this when we had a crash. I should have invested when we had a crash. I should have bought this stock. I should have bought this index fund. I should have bought this ETF when we had a crash. But when the crash is happening, that's the interesting part, because you know when the crash is happening, there's usually other extenuating circumstances going on. The housing market, people are losing jobs, people are losing houses. There's a lot of things going on. COVID crash. COVID. People literally thought the world was getting ready. People thought it was going to be a zombie apocalypse. So during those crashes, idealistically, when you look back, you're like, dang, I should have invested. Well, could this be another opportunity for you? No, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. What are you doing? I know one thing you need to do. You need to go enjoy some nature. That's what I'm gonna do today. So again, y'all, I thank y'all for coming through, man. As always, respect your elders, man. Respect them and learn from them. Even if you learn from them through me. Learn from them through me. If you don't hang around a lot of them, I'll let you know what's the goings on with them. Always. So shout out to you for coming through, y'all. As always, be safe, respect your elders, do good deeds, respect them and learn from them, and help people out whenever you see them in need. And I will holler at y'all in the next video. Down.